Aloha and welcome to the Hawaii Supreme Court Law Library's instructional video series on Hawaii State Legislative History Research. In this video series, we'll be demonstrating best practices for conducting effective legislative history research using resources freely available online. To begin, this video will provide a brief overview, including discussion of what legislative history is, why it might be useful, and a general outline of steps in the process. So, what is legislative history? Well, Black's Law Dictionary defines it as the proceedings leading to the enactment of a statute, including hearings, committee reports, and floor debates. This can be useful for a number of reasons, but here are a few of the main ones. First, it can give insight into the original intent behind a particular law or statutory amendment. It can also clarify statutory language that a court might find ambiguous, and it can help to uncover the text of a law as it existed at a certain period in time. Here are the basic steps. To start, you'll need to identify the specific Hawaii statutory provision that you're interested in and locate its full text. Next, you'll need to identify the act number and legislative year or year of amendment that led to the creation of the statute. Third, you'll need to find the full text of the act. And then finally, you'll be able to track the history of the bill for the act through its enactment. Now we're going to come back to these steps later, but first we'll cover a few helpful items to put this all into context. Here are a few notes and abbreviations you'll come across in conducting your research. CC means Civil Code. PC is Penal Code. RL refers to the Revised Laws of Hawaii. HRS means the Hawaii Revised Statutes. And L, followed by a year, refers to the legislative year in which an act was passed, usually seen in this format here. A lowercase c means act, a lowercase am means amended, and this symbol denotes a specific section within an act. Where you'll come across these abbreviations and symbols is in some of the following documents needed to conduct legislative history research. These include the full text of acts, committee reports, including House Standing Committee Reports, HSCR, House Conference Committee Reports, HCR, Senate Standing Committee Reports, SSCR, and Senate Conference Committee Reports, SCR. Finally, you'll also want to look at testimony from the Senate and House journals. Now, where do you find these documents? Well, for certain time periods, everything you need is available online via the Hawaii State Legislature website, the link to which we've included in the description below. Through this website, you'll have access to the Hawaii Revised Statutes from the most recent legislative session, acts via the Session Laws of Hawaii with full text available from 1959 to present, committee reports available from 1971 to present in the House and 1975 to present in the Senate, and testimony available online from 2008 to the present. So, now that we know what to look for and where to find it, let's return to our basic steps. First, you identify the specific Hawaii statutory provision that you're interested in and locate its full text via the Hawaii Revised Statutes. Once you've located the specific statute, the next step is to identify the act and legislative year or year of amendment the statute corresponds to. This can always be found in the text of the statute in the format shown here, denoting the legislative year the act was passed, the act number, and a section number within the act. Next, you'll need to find the full text of the act via the Session Laws of Hawaii, and then finally, you can track the history of the bill for the act through its enactment via the House and Senate committee reports and testimony. If you prefer to do your research using print resources rather than online, or if the act you're interested in has a history going back further than 1959, you can also come visit us at the Supreme Court Law Library to conduct your research using our print materials. For finding acts using print resources, you would refer to our physical copies of the Session Laws of Hawaii. For finding committee reports, there would be more variance depending on the time period you're interested in. If the act was passed between 1901 and 1961, you would use the House and Senate journals to locate the page numbers of reports. If it was between 1962 and 1983, you would need to use the Digest and Index of Laws Enacted, plus the House and Senate journals. And if it was from 1984 to present, you would use the Session Laws of Hawaii plus the House and Senate journals. Additionally, if you want someone else to do the legislative history research for you, The good news is we're happy to help. For a small fee, our librarians here at the Supreme Court Law Library will get you everything you need. Here are the steps. First, complete a request for Hawaii Legislative History Service form. Then, fax or email the document via the contact information shown here. Next, you will receive a response by phone or email with the total cost of the request and official confirmation, and from there, all relevant information will be sent over as soon as payment has been received. The link to all needed forms and additional resources can be found below in the video description. In our next video, we'll dive into the online legislative history research process in more detail and with some live demonstrations. Thanks for watching.